Hey guys, and welcome back to Garbu Gaming. This is the first video in the new Paladins playlist, and I want to go over some of the changes that the Patch Ob41 brings to the table. If you haven't picked up Paladins yet, it's a free-to-play shooter from Hi-Rez, and I highly recommend you give it a try. Or if you did try it, and it's been sitting around on your Steam account, why not give it a go? As of yesterday, Hi-Rez pushed out a huge update that includes a new map, some new skins, and of course, gameplay changes. I won't be giving you a full list of the updates in this video, but you can find the link to the updates in my description. Instead, I will be covering all the changes that I feel are major. Starting out our list of impactful changes fall under game modes. Siege mode. Teams now gain 300 credits for capturing an objective, and teams no longer gain credits for defending a payload push. To put this simply, credits favor the aggressor. If you and your team are capturing objectives and successfully finishing maps, you will see an increased number of credits. On the flip side, if you are losing objectives and always falling back, you may notice a shortage of cash flow compared to before. The next game mode change is payload. Starting credits have been increased from 400 to 1000, and increased credit spooling in payload from 1 to 2 credits every 1 second. This means teams have the option to buy more cards in the setup phase, even 3 if you don't pick aggression. I always felt that payload didn't allow you to gain credits as fast as siege, resulting in the ability to only obtain a few cards throughout the whole game. This change might make payload a little more interesting. I'm glad to see Hi-Rez making changes here because it seemed like a majority of the community didn't like payload to begin with. Stepping away from game modes, let's take a look at the new Ying skin. Overall really nice and detailed, but I'm not sure I like it being presented in case format. As you can see, I still picked it all up, and like I said, it looks incredible, but not sure about the whole spending diamonds on it. As for the new map, we got Stone Keep, and just like the skin, this map has incredible attention to detail. The ability to have such a clean map symmetrical like this is a great change. I do feel like this map will favor flankers like Eevee and Androxus, as well as a good sniper like Kinessa. The height ceiling is also good for Drogo's players. When it comes to card changes, there was only one that they put out, and that's Cauterize. Reduce the duration from 2 to 1.5 seconds, and Cauterize of different ranks no longer stack on each other. I had no idea the stack took place, but just reading it sounds a little overpowered. Hopefully now with this slight nerf, it'll become more of a situational thing and less of a must pick. Moving along into champions, these are the big ones. In general, support champions now gain ultimate charge from effective healing done to teammates. Self-healing or healing done to teammates that heals for 0 do not provide ultimate charge. This is one of the big ones, and it means that a healer can stay alive and effectively dish out heals and have a better time charging ults as opposed to being forced to deal damage. No more suicide supports? Soon to find out. Barrett got a buff overall. His health went from 2900 to 3400. This makes him feel a lot more tanky and gives him a higher survivability. Expect to see him a lot more in those death ball lineups where he could just throw down his sentries, throw down his shield, and get work done. The next person that needed a buff that received one is Grok. His healing totem healing has been increased from 340 to 520 per second. And this is another big one. Having played with the gameplay changes, I noticed that he's a lot harder to win in a 1v1 situation, and his healing potential for teammates such as tanks on Ruckus and Fernando is actually big. It's a noticeable healing, so look for him a lot more and prioritize that totem if you see it. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is in regards to Skye. Her wrist crossbow ammo has been increased from 15 to 20. This may not seem like a lot on paper, but is definitely a good boost to damage. Her role as a flanker may have been obvious, but her low damage output meant you had to really pick key times to engage and disengage. This may still be the case, but with the extra rounds at her disposal, it makes finishing off targets that much quicker. To quickly go over the damage potential, it's 150 a shot, 225 to the head. So the old body damage if all 15 connected was 2250. This damage has been increased to 3000. Where the old headshot damage if all 15 connect was 3,375, has now been increased to 4,500. These are just base numbers and not going off the poison darts. If you can consecutively land all 3 poison darts, these numbers drastically increase, making her damage potential quite ridiculous. Overall, I love this buff she received and lets you play her more effectively the way she was meant to be played. She may finally have uses besides simply killing a Kinessa. If you like this kind of video, let me know down below, and feel free to discuss your opinions. I'm Garbu from Garbu Gaming, and we'll see you next time.